In this video, I'm going to talk about spelling native Hiligaynon words with native and non-native vowels. Once the Roman alphabet took root in the Philippines sometime in the 16th century, it became the standard writing system for Hiligaynon speakers to write down native words as well as borrowed words. So is it an E or an I? Native speakers tend to interchange the letters E and I in writing. This results in some words generally spelled with either an E or an I. However, native Hiligaynon words are more often than not spelled with the letter I, and therefore sounded with the native E vowel. For example, isa, which means one. Isa. The stress falls on the second syllable. So we say isa, isa. Another example would be koring, koring for cat. For this word, the stress is on the second syllable. Koring, koring. And another example, babayi for woman. Or it could also be female. Babayi, babayi, with the stress on the second syllable. Babayi. Again from the top, isa, isa, kuring, kuring, babayi, babayi. As you can see, these native words are spelled with an I. I for isa, I for kuring, and I for babayi. But we mentioned earlier that native speakers would sometimes interchange the letter I with the letter E when writing down words. And so, could it be that the I in isa be interchanged with E in writing? Like this, as well as in kuring and babayi? Now, let's take a look at this chart to better understand how native speakers themselves would write the words down and how they would say them. Do they spell the words with the letter I, or do they interchange it with the letter E? Or do they say words with the native E vowel or with the borrowed E vowel? Let's go back to our earlier examples. The first one is isa. The second one is kuring. And the other one is babayi. Do native speakers always spell isa with an I? Yes, this is a very common spelling. However, do they spell it with an E? There's no clear yes or no answer. However, some people do spell it that way, but it's rather rare. What about with kuring? Do they keep the letter I when they write down the word kuring? Yes, kuring with an I is a very common spelling. Spelling kuring with an E is also rather rare. What about with babayi? The letter I in babayi is also a very common spelling, whereas interchanging the I with an E is not uncommon, but not as common as spelling this word with an I. So babayi can be spelled with an E. I have seen text messages from other native speakers spelling this word with an E. Well, what about in speech? How do they say isa? Do they keep the native E vowel in the word isa? Yes, they do. Well, what about the E sound in the word isa? Do they say esa? I haven't heard anyone say esa. Do they keep the vowel sound E in kuring? Yes, that's very native. What about interchanging the E with E, saying koreng? No. What about for the third example here, babayi? Do they keep the vowel sound E? Yes. Since babayi can be spelled with the letter E, do they then use the vowel sound E in speech? Saying babaye? No. Since babayi is a native word, even though it is spelled with an E sometimes, it is still sounded with the native E sound. Babayi. So to recap, Isa is spelled with the letter I and sounded with the native Hiligaynon vowel E. Kuring is also spelled with the letter I and sounded with the native Hiligaynon vowel E. Babayi is sometimes spelled with the letter I and sometimes with the letter E, but is always sounded with the native Hiligaynon vowel E. Babayi. Now let's have some more examples. We have isog to mean brave, inom to mean to drink. We also have pispis, meaning bird, palibot, meaning surrounding, or the environment. We also have bagis to mean shark. As you can see, these words are spelled with the letter I and sounded with the native Hiligaynon vowel E. I'm going to go through these words again, and I'm going to write the stress mark on the stressed syllable. You can repeat after me if you want to. Isog, isog, inom, inom, pispis, pispis, palibot, palibot, bagis, bagis. For loanwords, Hiligaynon speakers tend to keep the letter E from the original spelling when writing down the word. Now let's take a look at the Spanish word papel, meaning paper. Native Hiligaynon speakers tend to write this word down with the letter E, keeping its original spelling from its language of origin. The same goes for the English word exit. Again, just like with the word papel, exit is spelled with the letter E. However, how do native speakers sound this letter E? Do they sound it with the native Hiligaynon E, or do they retain the original vowel sound in these words? For the word papel, since it is spelled with the letter E, it can be sounded with the lone vowel so maintaining its original pronunciation from Spanish, papel, papel. However, native speakers would always tend to interchange the original with the native E. So we can also say papel, 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 papel are both the same thing. The same goes for the English word exit. However, the z sound is foreign to Hiligaynon, and so it is replaced by the native s sound. So exit would sound like exit in Hiligaynon. Although the z sound is replaced by s sound, the is still retained. Exit could also be pronounced as exit, exit. Again, exit, exit are both the same thing. Take note, however, that there could still be native speakers who would spell loan words with the native Hiligaynon vowels. So seeing papil instead of papel or exit rather than exit should not be surprising. So as you can see, the native letter I has replaced the letter E from its original spelling. I replacing the original E. As there are no standard spelling rules for writing down words, be it native or borrowed, variations in spelling are extensive, and thus, for as long as the reader catches on, such differences in spellings are widely tolerated and accepted. So what happens if the loan word has the vowel E in it? Native speakers would simply keep the E vowel sound as it naturally rolls off their tongue. So for the Spanish word pinta, meaning paint, the vowel E is retained. Spelling-wise, the letter I is also retained. But then again, would it surprise me to see the word spelled with an E instead of the original I, and would still be sounded with the native vowel E? So the word pinta be changed to this spelling, P-E-N-T-A, and still be sounded with the original E vowel sound? Well, it wouldn't surprise me. Not at all. However, this spelling is extremely rare, and I wouldn't spell pinta with P-E-N-T-A myself. Let's study these non-Hiligaynon words to further enrich our knowledge about writing down and sounding loan words with the letters E and I. E and I. So we have here spaghetti and personalidad. Spaghetti, personalidad. Spaghetti may not originate from Spanish, but it's a non-Hiligaynon word nonetheless. So these words are spelled as they would be written down in their language of origin. So the E in spaghetti could be sounded with the original E, spaghetti, or it could be interchanged with the native Hiligaynon E. So you can also say spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. It wouldn't make any difference in meaning. Spaghetti could be sounded as spaghetti, spaghetti, or natively spaghetti, spaghetti. As for the letter I, it is sounded with the native Hiligaynon E, spaghetti, spaghetti. So spaghetti could either be spaghetti, spaghetti, or spaghetti. Now let's go to the second word here, personalidad, personalidad. The letter E in personalidad could be sounded with the original E vowel, or it could be replaced with the native Hiligaynon E. So saying personalidad would mean exactly the same as personalidad. Again, the original personalidad and the native personalidad. Personalidad, personalidad. And again, for the letter I, it is sounded with the native Hiligaynon vowel E. Personalidad, personalidad, personalidad. So personalidad could be sounded as personalidad or natively personalidad, personalidad. By natively, I mean natively Hiligaynon sounds. Spaghetti or spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. Personalidad, personalidad, or personalidad, personalidad. So to summarize how loan words are written down and spoken in Hiligaynon, let's take a look at this simple chart. For loan words that contain the letter E, they almost always retain the letter. However, there are instances where the letter E is replaced by the letter I when used in Hiligaynon. However, these instances are less common or even rare. In speech, the original E sound is retained, but it is also very common for the vowel E sound to be interchanged with the native Hiligaynon E vowel sound. As for the letter I, it is retained in spelling, and very rarely it is replaced by the letter E in writing. When spoken, the vowel E is retained. And it is also very rare for the vowel E to be replaced by the vowel E in speech. As there are no rules in writing down Hiligaynon words, it always helps to be observant and imitate your favorite native speaker write down words. And of course, listen to how they pronounce native words as well as loan words. In our next video, we're going to talk about writing down both native words and loan words with the letters O and U. Again, this is Angelo, your Hiligaynon tutor. I teach Hiligaynon from my perspective as a native speaker. Madamo gid nga salamat. Please like and subscribe.